December 21st, and it is a Saturday before Christmas week, and it is officially week 16 of this NFL regular season. And for the 9-5 Ravens, in come their greatest and most bitter rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the AFC North on the line. If Pittsburgh wins today and improves to 11-3, it will take the AFC North crown. If the Ravens win, they not only lock up a spot as a wild card team and punch their ticket to the playoffs, but the AFC North will be very much alive for your Baltimore Ravens. Welcome inside the channel. I'm Bobby Trosset. It is 19-degree wind chill kind of day here in Baltimore, and I am in the shade of the Be More Around Town tailgate lot right outside M&T Bank Stadium. It's at 801 West Austin Street, and this place is buzzing. I've got Jell-O shots off to my left, cookies off to my farther left, Ed Reed cigars gifted to me by my guy Freddie right in front of me, an all-inclusive bar off to my right, and this place is rocking. You would expect nothing less for a Be More Around Town tailgate. These pregame shows are made available and made possible, I should say, to you because of Brian Snyder and his tremendous team. You can book your purple tailgate pass today by going to BeMoreAroundTown.com. You can find that link in the show notes. It's also a pinned comment right now in the live chat. And the next opportunity you have to come join me out here is obviously the regular season finale. Who knows? Depending on what happens today, that could very well be a division-deciding game against the Cleveland Browns. Again, that is, I believe, January 5th weekend. I think there's still a to-be-determined label attached to that game. I'm sure the NFL will let us know shortly. Thank you guys for being here. It was a tremendous week, and it's going to be a tremendous day because, as we know, there's a lot on the line right now. It'll be Russell Wilson versus Lamar Jackson. It's a 4:30 kickoff inside M&T Bank Stadium. Eric Weddle set to be the Ravens legend of the game. And here is the current AFC playoff picture as we enter this weekend. Of course, the Chargers got it done in comeback fashion against the Denver Broncos on Thursday night. So when you look at that second tier, it's awfully jammed right there. The Ravens 9-5 trying to keep pace with the Los Angeleses, the Denvers, and of course, all the division leaders that they're chasing after right now. Kansas City is playing right now as we speak against the Texans. I believe that score was 17-10 at half, if I'm not mistaken. Buffalo, the current 2 seed in this picture, at 11-3. Pittsburgh, 10-4. And, of course, Houston, 9-5. That second tier, though, is really interesting because you already know the Ravens have beaten up on both of those teams, and yet they find themselves in the same little window as Los Angeles and as Denver. Today is massive for a number of reasons, but at the top of that list, if you want to find a way and crawl your way after inch by inch here post-bye week, you really need to win out if you want a chance to win this AFC North. In the hunt, of course, is Indianapolis, Miami, and Cincinnati. As for this stretch that the Ravens are in the middle of, it's been much talked about, much dissected. 3 games in 11 days. And, of course, the next one is coming up on Christmas afternoon in Houston against the Texans. That'll be a 4:30 kickoff on Netflix. As I mentioned, Eric Weddle will be the Ravens legend of the game. There will be a pregame flyover. The Ravens walk opened up about an hour ago, and the gates to M&T Bank opened up 15 minutes ago. As for this series, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know. And what we've grown accustomed to seeing here in recent years is Pittsburgh dominating this rivalry. And yes, there have been special circumstances along the way, like resting starters in 2019 and 2023, the regular season finales, like injuries to Lamar Jackson, who's only played in 5 Ravens-Steelers games thus far in his career through almost 7 years. But this rivalry has been anything but over the last 10 games. And really, the Ravens have dropped 8 of the last 9, including the last 4 to Pittsburgh. But as we know, the Steelers will be down several key men today. We're going to get that in just a bit. A friendly reminder, or perhaps a not-so-friendly reminder, of what took place in what ended up becoming a 2-point disappointing Week 11 loss for Baltimore in Pittsburgh last month. We all remember 2 first-half missed field goals by Justin Tucker, 3 total turnovers, 12 penalties, which negated 80 yards, which has been a season-long trend, including 8 defensive penalties a week ago in the Meadowlands. And, of course, 4 for 11, very inefficient on third down. Look, I tweeted this out earlier today, and I'll mention it again. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. If you play disciplined football today, the talent will outweigh what Pittsburgh has and their inefficiencies when it comes to just solely the lack of talent. Their offense cannot hold a candle to the Ravens, and we saw that in Week 11. It took self-inflicted wound after self-inflicted wound for the Ravens to drop that game. The only team in the NFL, as Bill Belichick has been mentioning and stating all year long, that can beat the Ravens are the Ravens. And the 4 categories that you see on the screen, on top of a non-polished game from Lamar through the air, particularly with the deep ball, and a number of other factors, led to Pittsburgh being able to walk out victorious on Week 11 in a game that they did not score a touchdown. The Steelers relied on 6 Chris Boswell field goals, and it became an 18-16 crushing loss for the Ravens. You play disciplined, sound football today, and to me, this is about as straightforward as it gets. Ravens, according to some sports books, are 6.5 to 7-point favorites. That is a pretty significant spread for this rivalry, but I think it speaks to what the Steelers are and aren't without a couple of their key players. Well, he was supposed to be a key player when it comes to insurance, but he was anything but. Deontay Johnson's Raven career, which didn't even last 2 months, came to a screeching halt yesterday when the team waived him. And as the Ravens tweeted out yesterday, that was the news, which was also attached to a couple other roster shuffling as well, including activating defensive back Desmond King and wide receiver Anthony Miller from the practice squad for today's game. So the wide receivers will consist of Zay Flowers, Tylan Wallace, Devontae Walker, and Anthony Miller, on top of course, the tight end tandem that they're going to need a lot from today, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. And I got to tell you, while we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about Deontay Johnson, I do have to mention this. It's not even funny how much of a fumbled opportunity this is by him. Think about what he's left on the table. A chance to prove that he's worthy of another contract in this league, whether it would have been in Baltimore or elsewhere. Potential wide receiver 2 or 3 workload. Nelson Aguilar has been ruled out. Rashad Bateman's pregame warm-up is literally happening right now, and NFL Network and other national reporters are saying based on how he performs in that workout will determine whether or not he's trotted out. And, of course, the chance to get a little bit of revenge against his former team and chase an AFC North title, which is currently up for grabs. This, to me, reeks of entitlement. It reeks of selfishness. And as a result, the Ravens took a chance. Now, was it a big chance on him at the deadline investment-wise? No. It was very little risk involved from a team-building perspective. But Deontay was supposed to be used on days like today. Deontay was supposed to be insurance for their wide receiver room. And instead, he now is probably going to be claimed by another wide receiver needy playoff team. His final stat line in Baltimore, 4 games, 5 targets, 1 catch, and 6 yards. Not exactly a decorated career as a Baltimore Raven, that's for sure. And Adam Schefter tweeting out something that I just referenced a minute ago. He is likely to be claimed on waivers Monday. Potential landing spots, oh, what a surprise. They include but are not limited to the Chargers and Chiefs, and that's if he makes it that far on waivers. So Shefty is essentially kind of suggesting that he might be a hot commodity here for a team that's looking to make a playoff run. It is 17-10 right now in the third quarter in Kansas City. Chiefs leading the Texans in obviously a big game with a lot of AFC playoff picture implications involved in this one. Nelson Aguilar, as I just mentioned, is still in concussion protocol, so wide receiver 3 will not be available today for the Ravens. And Rashad Bateman, who's in the middle of a career year, over 600 yards receiving and counting, and 7 total touchdowns in counting. Let's see how he is. Inactives will be coming out in just a short while from right now, so we'll see if he's good to go. They come in about 15 minutes right now. Beat reporters mentioning that Rashad is out on the field warming up. Jalen Armour-Davis and Nelson Aguilar, again, have already been ruled out, so they will be 2 of the inactives that you will see on the screen as soon as it comes out in a short while from right now. If you're wondering who Anthony Miller is, he has not played a regular season snap in this league since 2021. He's the former Chicago Bear that the Ravens brought in during training camp. I can't imagine we'll see a lot of him, but he and Lamar did have an instant connection for what it's worth during training camp. You want one of those drinks? Yeah, take one of those. You want to pop on for a second? Yeah, come on up. We'll have our first guest of the afternoon. And you and I spent some time together in London. You have to remind me your first name.
James.
All right, James. Good to see you, brother. Merry Christmas.
When we were in London last year, hey, you did a great job.
I appreciate that.
All right.
I love how you traveled with him.
Thank you.
You travel well, James. So we're here.
This has been so far Stadium 21. I got 10 more to go.
Good for you, dude.
To see all the Ravens playing all the stadiums.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay. So let's talk about this. We're in the middle of chatting about the current roster construction for this game. Rashad Bateman is currently warming up on the field. He is very much questionable. He was seen by reporters this week with a walking boot on and clearly injured himself in a practice. As you know, he's having a career year. 7 total touchdowns is more than he had in the previous 3 seasons combined, and he's got over 600 yards receiving. He was extended this offseason. He's really been a great vertical threat for them. He has had some drops this year, but by all accounts, this is a Rashad Bateman that's surging right now. Absolutely. They need him. This offense needs him. I don't necessarily think they absolutely desperately need him today, and here's why. With no Pickens on the other side, Pittsburgh is going to struggle to move the ball. Shit, with Pickens the first time around, they could barely move the ball. So I ask you, what are your thoughts going into this one?
So, when Rashad Bateman has not played, the offense has struggled a little bit. He has like 6 or 7 touchdowns this year so far.
7 total.
7 total. When we did not play against the Eagles, he did not, because I think he was out. We struggled to move the ball, especially in between the red zones. If this is our season right here, we really need to win this game to get a home playoff game. If we don't, we're going to either Houston
or
who's the third team?
Oh, let's see. Currently, 3 would be, it'd be Pittsburgh.
So, I would much rather face the Texans. Stroud has not faced well against, just the opposite.
Well, he's just had a sophomore slump in general.
And he's currently losing right now. So, if I would send Bateman out to play just because we still have that chance for the division. If we win, we're going to be the favorite to win the AFC North. Like that, the Chiefs are going to beat Steelers next week.
It's a war of attrition the next couple weeks.
It is.
3 games in 11 days. We're in the current middle part. We're in the smack dab middle part of that stretch. As you know, they travel to Houston on Christmas Day. And we'll see what happens to the Texans today. Kansas City currently up on them. Ravens control their own destiny. I think it's safe to say. There's a lot of folks in the live chat that think you and I are playing handsy because of how close we are. We're just trying to huddle for warmth. That's really all it is. Right, James?
You can say we're handsy. The fact of the matter is, the Steelers have won, 7 of the last 8?
8 of the last 9 and 4 in a row.
But this is the first time we're facing the Steelers with Lamar Jackson with a full stadium. So, if we win, it doesn't matter what we do. We're going to win the division. If we win today, the Chiefs will beat the Steelers next week on Christmas, which I will be there in Houston. So, we will win the division if we win today and the Chiefs beat the Steelers.
I appreciate you coming on, James. Why don't you take a little gift there for everybody? You want to take one right in front of everybody? That's part of the drill. You take one right in front of the camera and then bounce. Cheers. I'll take one later. Appreciate it, brother. Enjoy yourself. Who needs that shot glass anyway? See you, man. Enjoy it. Bryson. It's time for Bryson Baltimore, baby. So I'm going to do your parents a favor.
Okay.
I'm going to do your parents a favor. So as you can see off to the left, we have gifts for guests.
We do.
But those aren't for you.
Obviously.
You got to wait a little bit for that.
Yeah, just a little bit more years.
My man, Mr. Baltimore, a.k.a. Bryson, a local 7th grader here, and his family owns Mother Shuckers, who has a pop-up tent with oysters and awesome seafood off to my left. Bryson is a returning guest of the show.
I am.
It's great to have you back. Merry Christmas,
I'm
brother.
great to be back.
How you feeling?
Good.
So, Ravens-Steelers rematch. What are your thoughts going into this one? Because as we talked about with your brothers before you came on, when George Pickens is not out there for the Steelers, their offense does not function.
Yeah, no. I think it's going to be really hard for the Steelers because obviously you don't have George Pickens, and it's it's like a cold game. I think it's going to be low scoring, but it's going to be a good game.
Which team will win in the trenches? I think it's a big deal that Michael Pierce is back. He's been activated off of injured reserve. This will be his 2nd game back. You might remember Big MP was not available for them in Week 11. And Travis Jones at the time was hobbling around with an ankle. So when you think about stopping Pittsburgh's rushing attack with Najee Harris, I like the way this is setting up for the Ravens. I like where they stand right now. I know Bateman, and by the way, inactives will be coming out in just a minute or so. And let's see if they have yet, Bryson. Not yet. It should be any minute now, but they haven't. Regardless, even if Bateman is limited today, I like where they stand. I think they're going to be a more disciplined team. They understand that if you win out, you probably got a pretty darn good chance of winning the division.
Yeah. My brother told me that Bateman is playing, so I think.
Who's his source?
I don't know. He has special source that tells him before the games and stuff. So I think he is playing. And if the Steelers lose out and we win out, give us the 1 seed.
Say that again?
If the Steelers lose out, we win out, we should get the 1 seed.
The AFC North title. Right. It's the 1 seed will come down between Buffalo and Kansas City.
Yeah.
And currently it's 17-16 right now with just under 12 minutes left in the 3rd quarter in KC. And it looks like
Tank Dell got hurt.
Oh no. So for the live audience here, they don't typically have TVs, but since this is a big tailgate and we're approaching the playoffs, they've installed TVs, and it looks like, oh man, he's getting carted off. Not just carted off. It looks like there's an on-field ambulance.
Not good.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And in an even more terrible way of transitioning, that impacts the Texans going into next week when the Ravens play them. That's one less playmaker, so that's terrible. Standing ovation from the Kansas City crowd for Tank Dell. An on-field ambulance, or at least the Kansas City Fire Department, all consoling him. That's terrible. You hate to see that.
Sucks.
11:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Kansas City's got a 1-point edge on Houston. So, okay, we'll get back to the here and now. Lamar, is he going to exercise his demons? Because if there are two teams that he's really struggled against that have had his number, it's the Steelers and the Chiefs.
Obviously, I think that, it's really hard to sweep a good team. So I think we do come up with the win. I think he does play good because I don't think the Steelers can sweep us.
All right, Bryson, right on cue. Your brother's got great sources because let's do this. Let's do a little bit of on-the-fly work here. It sure looks like Rashad Bateman is suiting up today. At least that's the case because of this. The inactives came out just a short while ago, and his name is not on that list. Jalen Armour-Davis and Nelson Aguilar, to no one's surprise. Marcus Williams continues to be a healthy scratch, and his career is all but over in Baltimore. Keaton Mitchell. Again, Rasheen Ali gets the call up over Keaton. I know a lot of people in this fan base are not happy about that, but 12 months removed from that serious knee injury and the fact that Rasheen brings a lot of special teams abilities, they're going with the rookie out of Marshall. Adisa Isaac is a healthy scratch, meaning David Ajabo gets the opportunity to be called up, and Nick Samac will be down as a reserve offensive lineman. So, which brother? Peyton. So Peyton called his shot,
Yeah.
and it came out to come to fruition.
Yeah.
Well, now the question becomes how limited, if any, will Rashad Bateman be, and how much do you push him? Because he has given them a vertical threat this year, unlike he has in the past 3 seasons.
I think you don't push him too hard because, we still have the playoffs to go, so don't want to get him hurt for the playoffs. So I think we just short little passes for him. And we always have Derrick Henry to run the ball, so we're fine.
And remember, part of the reason why it got off to a tough stretch in Week 11 was Derrick actually fumbled on the opening possession. And so right from the jump, when you give up the football to a Steelers team that's already – here's the thing, and this kind of brings us to what the Steelers will be without today. They're going to be without a key member of the team on each side of the football. Deshaun Elliott at safety and George Pickens at wide receiver. Those are 2 significant losses for them.
Very big.
And so ball security has to come at a premium. Disciplined football has to be a priority. And I think if you do that solely based on the talent gap, I think the Ravens walk away victorious.
It'll be an easy win if we keep the ball in our hands.
Bryson, I know you got a tailgate to go enjoy. So you do it, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great Christmas. I hope you get what you want.
Me too.
And I hope the rest of 7th grade treats you well.
It is. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Don't be coming for my job now. We talked about that. We got a pack now. Bryce in Baltimore. Great kid. Awesome family. His parents, Amy and Will, raised him so well. I really enjoy them. I appreciate you guys for being here today. Over 500 of you joining me concurrently as we work our way towards a 4:30 kickoff. Dante Jackson at corner is inactive for Pittsburgh. And don't overlook this. Defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi is also down and inactive. So that's what Pittsburgh is down. They're down Dante Jackson, Larry Ogunjobi, Deshaun Elliott, and George Pickens. That's a big deal. Several key playmakers for them. As for the Ravens, we'll see what Rashad Bateman ends up being tasked with today. Daniel Fa'alele was questionable, as was Adafe Owe, but both of those guys are good to go and will serve a role coming up today. Now, speaking of roles, a guy that's been, without question, the heart and soul of this team over the last 7 seasons has not performed against the Steelers. If there are 2 teams that have had both Lamar and Mark's numbers, it's been Kansas City and it's been Pittsburgh. And as you can see,
what's up, Paul, with you, Bobby?
Well, you know what I'm talking about right now.
Oh, what are we talking about?
As Sam Bishop gets into the program. Great to have you, brother.
Good
And
to be
happy belated to your father as well.
here. He's okay.
He'll be sitting down next.
Yeah, exactly.
So one thing your team has done, and by the way, Sam Bishop is the younger brother, correct?
Yes.
The younger brother of Molly, who used to be a bishop, but I married her and Riley in September.
Which you did a beautiful job of
the
doing.
day before the home opener.
Yes,
It was the day before the home
my
opener. And
gosh.
so Sam is a bishop. And you guys might remember that I did my second ever officiant gig that week. So anyway, we just got to tie it all together for the audience.
Exactly.
But what you see up on the screen is something your team has done really, really, really well, and that is keep Mark Andrews in check. And not a lot of teams have done that, particularly when it comes to the red zone. And this is the number one red zone offense in the league. Now, Pittsburgh has had its struggles inside the 20s.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not here to compare those. What I want to talk to you about is they got dogs out there that find a way to compress the pocket, make Lamar make mistakes, and not be beaten by Mark Andrews. I wonder, would no Deshaun, would no Ogunjobi.
Deshaun's in today.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
You sure about that?
You probably know.
He was
better than
ruled
me.
out yesterday. Deshaun Elliott was ruled out yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah. So I ask you, unless something changed, that's what I saw yesterday. How are they going to do it without those dogs?
You hope that the guys like Minka step up in. You hope that they step up, maybe make a good play. You hope that our second string, third string quarterback guys step up, make the plays in the end zone. James Pierre, maybe not. He's struggling big time.
He is.
But-
He's a rookie, right? Or
No,
is he?
you're thinking Beanie Bishop,
Oh, okay.
but Beanie's also struggling. All our cornerbacks are struggling.
So here's what you got going on. You got
Dante Jackson
no
is out.
Dante, no
And-
Ogunjobi, no Deshaun, no Pickens, and you know Tomo is going to pull out some Justin Fields trickery.
Oh, 100%.
That can't happen because he's dealing with an abdominal issue. So that's what's going on. Where's your confidence level?
TJ being there makes a big difference, but it's all going to be on Russ.
Even at 75%, I think that's the matchup to watch. He and Roger Rosengarten.
Yep.
Roger's a rookie.
Yep.
He's had a tremendous year, honestly.
I mean, he played in the first game against the Steelers. He played pretty well against TJ.
He worked his ass
Yeah.
off. But I think Alex Highsmith, to be honest with you, might be a bigger problem
Oh, yeah.
for Ronnie
Him and Nick Herbig
on the left
on the left side.
Herbig's a beast. I don't even think Highsmith played the first time.
No, he did.
I think Preston Smith was the guy.
Yeah.
So that'll be something to watch. But I really do believe that if there are two matchups to watch, it's on the right and left-hand side of the line.
Yeah.
Watt and Rosengarten and Highsmith and Stanley.
Yep.
That's it right there. Aside from that, it's
As
just
long as they can set the pocket and not let – and then Cam Hayward in the middle has to make it so Lamar just can't run up through the middle. That's the big thing.
listen to what Dan Orlovsky said this week about Mike Tomlin and the way that he views this from his lens.
Be won by Baltimore if Lamar plays his best game.
Absolutely.
This is
not a Derrick Henry game.
Correct. This is the X's and O's of it. Pittsburgh is going to put an extra person down to the football, and they're going to say, you're not going to run the ball on us. We're not going to allow you to be two-dimensional. We want you to be one-dimensional. I honestly believe, in my gut, Mike Tomlin wants the ball in Lamar Jackson's hands. He wants him to feel that pressure. He wants him to kind of play to the style that they force Lamar to play. And I don't think that Mike Tomlin, again, I don't want to put, he 100% respects him, but he thinks he's got his number. He thinks there's a certain style of play to Teddy's that compression of the pocket that he can control the game. He does not want to play with two safeties deep and say, Baltimore, run the football on us.
So Dan Orlovsky earlier this week, and yes, Sam is getting a kick out of the live chat right now. Yes, because I have a Steelers fan on the show who invited himself on. I'm the bad guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, take a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, take a shot. That's what you got to do.
I have to do it for you.
Yep.
Hey, cheers,
brother. Enjoy it. Again, Sam is the younger brother of Molly, who's a good friend of mine. I married her and my buddy Riley in September, and now you guys are here as a family enjoying Ravens Steelers, and you guys do have PA ties, just so everybody knows. It's not just they're in Maryland and like they're saying
and we're only Steelers fans for that reason. Yeah,
literally. It's all about the geography.
Yeah.
And what I like about you is you're level-headed. And because you're level-headed, you're going to have to acknowledge this, and we already talked about it. Look at the drop-off
It's atrocious.
Look
It's
at
so
these
bad.
categories.
It's so bad.
I mean, look at this. Yards per play, they dropped from 11th to dead last. Success rate, 18th to dead last. And explosive play rate, 13th, 32nd. Make no mistake about it. Russ is in trouble when Pickens is not on the field.
Yeah, well, because you can't throw the moon ball
You don't
to
have
anyone else.
Here's the thing. You got Mike Williams at the deadline. The Ravens got Deontay Johnson. How'd that work out? Just ask the Steelers about him.
Yeah, exactly.
But can Mike Williams, do you think it's even realistic, having watched the last few weeks since he's come to Pittsburgh, that he'll even command that type of target share? Will he even be an
Absolutely
option for
not.
that?
Absolutely not. Because how many did he get last week? Maybe 2?
He's been a non-factor.
Yeah, exactly. None at all. And he needs to be a factor in those games because he's a veteran. But is he going to get it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah. So really, you're in a position where it's like, okay, Freiermuth has had some success in the past, not the first time around in Week 11. But here's the thing: not many offensive players had success. It was an 18-16 goddamn score.
It was a sleeper of a game offensively, that's for sure.
Right. So the drop off is significant, and then you ask yourself, okay, well, how much can Najee carry them? Well, not against the number one ranked rushing defense.
Not at all.
So it should be interesting. I think it's going to be another low scoring game. I went 24-20 Ravens, and I know you're not going to like me sharing this online, but I know you and your pops are both betting against your team today. You care to enlighten us?
I think you guys are going to dog us today. I think it's going to be like 40-14, honestly. I think Lamar's going to ball out today, and then I think it's probably going to be – I really hope it's the Steelers then next week against the Chiefs, just on Christmas Day, just absolutely taking it to them. That's all I care about.
So you think the AFC North is going to be up for grabs after 16 weeks?
After today.
All right. Hey, how's the tailgate going? You enjoying yourself?
I'm enjoying myself. How about you?
Place is pumping here.
It's a little chilly.
Well, look at you. That's why I kept telling you, drink.
Hey, that's what we're doing out here.
Appreciate you for coming on, man.
Thank you, Bobby. Love you.
You pissed everybody off.
I know.
Well done. Oh, man, you guys are incredible. You know that? Tylan Wallace, I expect him to have a big day, and he better, because this is what he had to say this week.
AFC North football, it's going to be a physical matchup. Like I said, probably one of the best rivalries in NFL football. So we know it's going to be a physical, tough game, and we're ready for it.
We just know what's at stake. It's this time of year. We got to win games, and we put ourselves in a great position. And so everything looking ahead is just being motivated and locked in and ready to take on this week and take it one at a time.
Here. So two of those guys, of course, being Mark Andrews and Tylan Wallace, they're going to have to play big roles today. I expect Tylan to get more snaps than he ever will throughout his entire career in this Ravens-Steelers rivalry. And, of course, Mark Andrews is trying to do what he hasn't been able to do yet in a 10-game sample size against Pittsburgh, and that is score a touchdown. I'm joined by Mr. Peyton, Mr. Alabama.
How you doing?
Licking your wounds. I'm sorry to hear that they went to a 12-team playoff format. And for the first time in a long time, your boys are not a part of it. Peyton is the older brother of Bryson, who we literally just had on a second ago, and he was talking you up. Before the inactives came out, he's like, oh, no, I heard that Bateman's going to go. And I said, oh, yeah? Well, who's your source? He goes, my older brother. I said, okay, well, let's bring his ass on here and tell us about that.
Yes.
I'll ask you, though. This team with Bateman is in the middle of what they've been waiting for 3 years now.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And that is, wow. Okay, he's healthy. Well, he was healthy. We'll see how healthy he is today. But 7 total touchdowns. He had three combined or 4 combined in his previous 3 seasons. They extended him. They surprised everybody, including him. He was surprised that he got extended. But now he's here, and he's really become a complementary piece for Lamar's offense. I ask you, how much do you think they're going to push him today with that foot?
Look, all I know is we are fighting to get number 1 in the playoffs. You got to feed Bateman. You got to do what you got to do. I think we're going to push him because you can't wait for the playoffs. This is the prime time. We got to beat the Steelers. It just means more. As John Harbaugh says, you're not truly a Raven until you beat the Steelers. And Lamar Jackson has yet to beat him in M&T Bank. It's definitely something that he's been dealing with. He always says he hasn't struggled in the playoffs, struggled to beat the Steelers. I think they're going to give him what he's got to do.
Listen to what Steve Smith Sr. had to say this week regarding no George Pickens on the Steelers side of things.
Recipe for the Pittsburgh Steelers is you have to run the ball to make the game the downfield throws. But without George Pickens in the game, their passing game is ineffective.
All right, so Agent 89 checking in this week on his podcast, and he's referring to Pittsburgh's offense as straight up ineffective without George Pickens. Here's what's funny. They weren't even effective the first time these two teams played, but the Ravens shot themselves in the foot every other minute of that game that they gave them life. And 6 Chris Boswell field goals was enough life to win it. Question becomes for me, are you going to hit the ground running and play disciplined football? Because we all know, I hate to keep bringing it up, but the ugly numbers there in the bottom of the screen, that can't happen today. 997 penalty yards have been negated this year, and they've committed over 100 of them, 117 to be exact. That ranks dead last in both of those categories. That falls on the head coach.
It's got to. It's crazy. I mean, Bill Belichick said on the McAfee show, we are beating ourselves every game. We can't do it, especially not divisional games where something so simple as penalties or turnovers can just change the game completely, no matter how good the team is. But, yeah, I mean, Pickens was ineffective the first game, but he still had 2 end zone shots that Trey White shut him down on. Having him out of the game is huge. Huge for this hurting secondary that we've been dealing with.
And if there's an area that the Ravens should definitely consider shifting things around a little bit coming into this game, I think you're getting to a point where Brandon Stevens has to be evaluated. And what I mean by that is I'm not saying bench Brandon. I'm saying give Trey more opportunities because while he is an older player with a lot of miles on his tires, as Xavier Worthy puts on the freaking Jets. Look at this guy, man. He is incredible. He lit up the Ravens in the middle part of the field in that opening week. And you know who did too was Rashee Rice, and I know he's unavailable right now, but the Chiefs are driving. It's still 17-16. Just over 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter for those of you. Look at Worthy just cut through the defense.
I mean, only the Chiefs can make a deal with the devil. How do you miss an extra point to tie the game?
Oh, totally.
Early in the second half.
Totally. Over 600 of you joining me concurrently today. I got Peyton in the building.
Yes, sir.
What else do we need to discuss here? Ball security, because again, this has been a season-long trend for them. When they play down to their competition, it's typically because they're giving them more opportunities to possess the football. And Todd Monken, he didn't like what he saw this week.
Nope.
He took some ownership, didn't he?
Yes,
What a classic clip this was. Look at him. Did you see this?
I have not seen this.
All right, so wait till you see this. Anthony Miller's number 6. And watch Monken. Man, Monken's like, listen, if you guys don't treat this football like a golden nugget, it's unacceptable. 3 turnovers, 12 penalties committed in Week 11. I mean, every time you turned around, they were doing something that was self-inflicted. I absolutely love this kind of intensity for Monken. I love the sense of urgency. And that's an area, especially on the opening drive, when Derrick Henry coughed it up in the first game, that plagued them right from the very beginning.
Can change the whole course of the game. And you know the players love seeing this from Monken, too. Just having that fun. You know it's cold out there. They're all shivering. You get them couple punches in, get the blood pumping. Whole new attitude going in.
No question. Let's go down to Covington, Georgia. Mac 4 has been hanging out for a while. And I know he's probably got a whole crew down there. Peyton, you're about to meet Mr. Mac 4 out there in Covington, Georgia. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas. I'm cold.
You're cold just looking at this, aren't you?
Hey, the Ravens, you usually go against the Steelers. I mean, you usually go against the Ravens. What's up, Bob? You been drinking or something?
Rodney, good to see you, Rodney. Sorry, Mac. You come on in a little bit. All right, yeah, come on in. Rodney Elliott, the former Maryland Terp. I'm sorry, Mac. Continue.
You usually, when you pick with the Ravens, they lose. So now what's going on?
What's going on is that they have everything in front of them. They're coming off a multi-bye week. That's right. It was a multi-bye week with the Giants. That's 2 bye weeks.
Giants is a walkthrough.
Okay. And so, yeah, I like the way this is setting up for them. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like many people feel. That just doesn't happen in this rivalry. No. And Pittsburgh's got a lot to play for, obviously, with the division on the line. But I think straight up, in one game in Week 11, it's hard to think that will mirror itself. And what I mean by that is 2 missed field goals in the first half.
Yep.
12 total penalties, 3 turnovers, and 4 for 11 on third down. You can't emulate that again. Not at this point in the season. There's too much of a heightened sense of urgency. So I went 24-20 for that reason. And obviously, most notably, this is a team that really struggles to move the ball without George Pickens on the field, as you know, Mac.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all a news scoop from Covington, Georgia.
What's your score?
Tucker is going to kick 3 field goals. 3 field goals. And they're going to win by.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. These guys are liquored up over there, aren't they?
That's Oyster Matt.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Classic. Oyster Matt. That's awesome. Sorry, Matt. Continue with your prediction.
Of course, I've been drinking. Tucker going to kick 3 field goals, and Tucker going to be the reason why they win.
Oh, wow. You're calling your shot on top.
Love to see that.
Okay.
I would love to see him regain it.
All right, Mac. You heard it here first. We appreciate you for calling in, brother. Merry Christmas.
No.
I'll catch up with you.
Likewise.
I love it, my man. It's 3:21 down there, and he's already feeling good. I love that.
Gotta be ready for this game.
Oh, let's keep the guest lines going. DJ Bowflex is in the house. It's the Mississippi Flock Nation.
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on,
Yes,
DJ?
sir. Bobby, what it is, my brother. Yes, sir. Hey, check it out.
Hey,
I'm gonna give a
goes.
prediction, let you know what
You
it
can
is.
take another one and join
I'll
them?
take another one.
Hey, there we go.
I'll join old Bowflex here. Take another drink.
There we go.
Mhm.
Oh, that's classic. DJ,
quick,
how you
quick,
feeling down there?
Man, doing great. Bobby doing great, man. Doing lovely. Already ready.
Let's go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me good? I'm just
Hey,
gonna
do
give
me
a
a
prediction,
favor and
man.
take those AirPods out so I can hear you better. Just because we got a DJ from New Orleans over here. He's letting it rip.
I know. I heard about that story. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, oh yeah. You got us? Oh, man. I might have screwed you up. If you want to put the AirPods back on, go ahead. I'm sorry. I might have screwed you up there. But
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So hit us. Hey, I'll tell you what, too, because it's rocking out here right now. Give us your prediction, one thought going into the game, and then we'll let you go.
All right, prediction going into the game, man. I got Baltimore 42-17. Justin Tucker gonna bounce back.
That's a shot.
And yeah, we there. 42-17. Justin Tucker gonna bounce back. And February, when y'all live from the Super Bowl, I'm DJing for free. That's how it rock.
Hey, you already know. That's awesome, dude. You know I'll be down there,
how
but I just booked my flight. So I actually need to figure out my accommodation. So if you got any advice for New Orleans accommodations, DM me because I'm trying to figure out where the hell to stay.
Awesome. I got you. I'm going to send you a couple places.
Okay, DJ.
I got you. I'm going to send you a couple. All right, man. Y'all be smooth.
Appreciate you, man.
All
Hey,
right.
DJ's calling his shots with the prediction. You're taking shots.
I'm taking shots.
So there we go.
Good, too. You
I love
got
it.
Ravens winning, taking shots, getting ready for the game.
I love it.
What a Saturday.
And what's going on in Kansas City?
Texans ball, they just been running that ball down their throats.
Okay. Something that Ravens are going to have to do when they inevitably see them at some point in January. They got to go through them probably. In order to beat them, in order to get to where you want to go, you're probably going to have to go through Kansas City. 24-16, Chiefs lead the Texans, but Houston's driving at the moment.
I just feel like the Ravens are too good of a team to get swept by the Chiefs.
Okay.
I could see them going to KC is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to beat Mahomes in KC.
Yes.
But I think if we just start off strong, run the ball with Henry, playing smart football,
yep,
I think we always got a shot, especially with them keeping it one-score games.
Yep.
We can do it.
Peyton, appreciate you for coming
Of
on,
course.
brother.
Yes, sir.
Rodney Elliott's up next. You can hand that headset right off to him and enjoy yourself. Thanks, Peyton. Appreciate you for coming on, man. The former Maryland Terrapin now sits down. This is becoming a monthly thing between the two of us. Mr. Rodney Elliott, there's nobody warmer than you. You're looking warm. and you're making me regret not putting on 2 socks. I'll tell you that.
Man, listen. Last year I came to how you doing, man?
Merry
First
Christmas.
of all,
Good
Merry
to see
Christmas you as well, man.
All right, thanks.
Glad to be seen. No complaints on my end. So last year I came to the divisional game against Houston, and that was the coldest game ever last year. So had to bring these puppies back out.
No question.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. You're over prepared, as they say.
Ready to go,
And the
baby.
question becomes, are the Ravens ready to go for a rematch with a team that, let's be honest,
Man, listen.
the Steelers did not win that. Okay, they won it. but I'm of the belief that Week 11 was lost by the Ravens. The Steelers didn't win that game. Baby.
Yeah.
Mr. Brian Snyder checking in.
Yes,
sir.
My God,
Good
B,
to see
baby.
you, man.
Always a pleasure, baby.
Come on back
Always.
through, all right? Come on back through, B, when you get a chance. Of course, Brian gets it done here, doesn't he? This guy, nobody throws the tailgate.
He's more around town. Listen, I'm not going to talk bad about any other tailgate in the city. Not at all. But I will talk highly about one I know, one I've been to.
Yeah.
My man B does a great job getting Ravens Nation here in Baltimore, but even on the road. So I had the opportunity to go to both home and on the road. And today is exciting. The energy here is great. So to answer your question, yes, we are ready. Yes, we are prepared. I think all the things that we talked about earlier about Pittsburgh didn't win last game. We just kind of didn't close the deal, right?
Yes.
So now just play quarter per quarter, right? Do what we've been doing, take care of the ball, getting positive yardage. Defense is playing pretty well right now. So, hey, it's December. It's cold. It's football weather. Ravens get Steelers at the bank. Can't get no better than this, B. Can't get no better.
Rodney, the live chat's loving you. And by the way, what's going on right now? Houston is driving. I just want to give some play-by-play here just because of the AFC playoff picture implications. We need to get this thing off the screen. But Houston, so C.J. Stroud just connected with Dalton Schultz. Big gain for a first down. So the Texans are driving, and they're currently down 8 in the third quarter in Kansas City. Okay, so here's where I'm at. And I want to revisit the box score from the first time around. And I know every game's different. But the reality is Pickens was the only one that scared them, that they didn't have an answer for, that Brandon Stevens didn't have an answer for. And the numbers show it. He had 8 for 89 on 12 targets. He is a vertical threat for them, and he is not available today. So after that, there's a big drop-off. And I wonder who's going to become their vertical threat. Will it be Calvin Austin? Will it be Darnell Washington, who's a tight end for them?
Right.
I know Freiermuth is going to be an option for the quick game across the middle, and they got to be ready for that. And Roquan's going to be ready for that in the middle part of the field. And I suspect that Trenton Simpson will continue to be demoted. And they'll use a rotation at inside linebacker with Malik Harrison and Chris Board. And then obviously we know who's going to be on the back end. The old school thumper and Kyle Hamilton, who your generation loves. And Ardarius Washington, the unsung, undrafted rookie from a few years ago, who's really helped calm things down on the back end. But I ask you, what scares you, if anything, if they can stop the run? The answer is nothing.
Nothing scares me.
My answer is that.
Only thing scares me is if Lamar didn't get a good sleep last night. Only thing that scares me right now.
Literally, yeah.
Or if he didn't get his good pregame meal in right now.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can look at the tape, look at the old box score, the numbers are the numbers. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, we take care of the football. We score when we're supposed to score. Tucker makes a field goal. We wouldn't be talking about this right now. Right? So the old adage of our destiny's in our hands right now. So it's one game at a time right now. We're running the ball pretty well right now. Lamar's taking care of the ball really well. He's been more decisive lately as well, too.
Yes, he has.
I don't know if it's his mom that kind of got him to get that going on right now, but it was the Giants. But at the end of the day, though, he was Jackson 5 last week.
You know it.
You don't need to be a hero this week, right? Just take care of the ball. But defensively, though, let's speed Russell up a little bit. Let's see if Russell is Russell.
And get the monkey off the back, right? Because he has not played Pittsburgh the way that he has damn near every other team around the league. If there are two teams that always come ready to go, here comes sandwiches, Rodney.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Oh, man, appreciate you.
It's Kansas City and Pittsburgh.
And
I think today, as much as today is about chasing after an AFC North title, first and foremost, and getting the special teams unit back and playing turnover free, it's also about changing the national narrative around, which is Lamar is unrecognizable against the Steelers. But here's the crazy part. That's not a narrative. That's fact. He is unrecognizable against Pittsburgh and Kansas City. That has to change today.
As a former athlete, when people say, you know what, we don't read the newspapers or we don't read the clippings, that's bull.
You do. You do.
Yes,
he does. Yeah.
We do. We check
and
it out.
Think about it. Think about it if you were his generation.
Yeah.
How accessible everything was.
You know what, though?
What years were you Terp?
That's a good point. I was at Maryland from 1994 to 98. So
Twitter didn't even exist.
Yes, Twitter wasn't existing. It was only the newspaper. I never forget, Gary Williams always had a way of kind of riling us up when he thought we were looking at the paper, right? So now, paper. But when you're talking about social media, internet, every interview, you got to be aware. So he knows what the situation is when it comes to that quote-unquote who his kryptonite is. Again, Lamar, you've been playing a hell of a season right now. From the very beginning when we first picked you, what you said you want to get us to a Super Bowl. In between that time, you've got 2 MVP, so you're not worried about the MVP race, even though your numbers say what you are and who you are.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you have to beat the Pittsburgh team in December. At the end of the day, you have to go through a Kansas City team when it counts, right? So right now, this is a playoff mentality game for him, playoff mentality game for the team. The coaching staff knows that. I know we know that as fans.
We do.
So at the end of the day, hey, just do what we know how to do. Run the ball well, take care of the ball, defense fly around, get a turnover too, and the bank's going to be behind him today.
Well, you know what folks around the NFL know how to do, and that is talk him up, and that's exactly what they've been doing. How about the former NFL head coach John Gruden having to say this about the MVP race and just what he's seen from Lamar?
And had 4 incomplete passes and 5 touchdowns. They are balanced. They can slam it at you with Henry. They have an array of very good receivers and tight ends, and Justice Hill's a great receiving back. But Lamar Jackson is putting together his best body of work that I have seen. It's really incredible, his statistics based on any NFL standard that you've looked at. He's got 3,580 yards passing, 34 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. I mean, the only 2 guys that I could find that threw over 30 touchdowns and less than 5 interceptions was Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. So that's the kind of class that Lamar Jackson is throwing the ball with. And when you combine that with 743 yards rushing and 3 more touchdowns, good God, how is he not the MVP? I mean, it's going to be a shame. Somebody's not going to win it. But Lamar has played superb football.
John Gruden weighing in on Lamar Jackson. Kevin Roberts hits us with a super chat and says, "What's up, Bobby and Rodney?"
What's going on, Kev?
What's going on, Kevin? Alex says, "All I want for Christmas is a Derrick Henry stiff arm on Patrick Queen." You already know the whole fan base wants that.
Yeah.
And Dave One to Cycle, Mr. David Kewer says, "Bobby, you wearing your mother's favorite Steelers coat? What's going on, man? Good to see you."
What is that?
Hey, you were up there, right? You were up there. You crushed it, man.
What's going on, man? How you doing, man? Good to see you, man.
Super,
Love your set,
super
man.
talented, man.
Love your set, dude. No,
Great
it's all
stuff,
good.
man.
It's all good,
Great
man.
stuff. David's always dragging me about my coats and my attire and whatnot.
Come on, Dave.
He's a big Devontae Walker fan, by the way.
Okay, that's fair.
Like the world's biggest Devontae Walker fan.
Listen, I won't hold it against him. I won't hold it against him at all. Not at all.
Let's go to the guest lines here and see what's going on down in Virginia. We got Queon in the building. Queon, it's me and Rodney.
Bobby?
How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How you been?
It's rocking out here right now. It's the place is starting to kind of leak out to get to the stadium, but you know what it's like here. We just saw you a few weeks ago. That was the Philly game, right?
Yeah, froze my butt off at that game too.
Oh, I'm sure. So what do you think about today? Hit us with your prediction and a thought, and then we'll let you go because we can barely hear.
All right. I know one thing. We cannot lose to Pittsburgh today. But I'm going 27-24. Baltimore. I just want it to be like an unsung hero in this game today. I don't know if it's going to be Tylen or it's going to be Devontae. But something crazy might happen. You know, we usually beat the Steelers when something unexpected happens. So that's what I'm expecting today.
Nice.
Queon, I've been saying it all week, Rodney. Like there's something about this game that brings out a certain level of funkiness.
Yeah.
And if you can withstand the funkiness when it inevitably hits you, you know you got a good shot to win it. And last month? It was the Peyton Wilson incredible wrestling interception to take it out of the grasp of Justice Hill.
Ooh.
That was a momentum-shifting play in a game where both teams were searching for that kind of shot in the arm offensively. Yeah. That's the type of thing. Which way is the coin going to flip today?
Yeah.
And what kind of play will be made in that realm?
You know what, though? I like his projection when he said something about an unsung hero type mentality right here, because this game is going to be a slugfest no matter what. It always is a slugfest, particularly here in December when so much matters, right? We're talking about leading the AFC North, etc. But you know what? Again, I'm always going back to what really works for us. Last game, it worked for us. Running the ball worked for us, right? Making good
It did.
decisions defensively worked for us. My thing this year or this game right now is unsung hero. It's cool, but I don't need no heroes, though. I don't need nobody out there doing anything extra than they were supposed to do or what their assignments are. Defensively, cover your gaps, right? Don't gamble because we know Mike Tom is going to have these guys prepared. But, again, they don't have
Right.
their number one guy out right down there. We do. We have all our number one guys out there right now. So, defensively, you know what? Keep Russell Wilson up a little bit. You know what? Make sure nobody gets behind you. End of the day, don't beat ourselves as well, too, because we do have a tendency to get that yellow flag out there as much as possible. Let's not have that going on right now. I think Lamar and the offense can take care of this game for sure.
Queon, final thought from you, brother.
I just needed to make sure they take care of the middle of the field. As long as they're exposed to the middle of the field, I think Baltimore should win this game.
Take care of the middle field. I like
Appreciate you, my man. Enjoy the game, brother.
Yes, sir. You too. Take it easy, Bob.
Catch up with you soon. That's Queon from down in Virginia. And by the way, Kevin says it's your neighbor. Looks like it's your boy Kevin.
Kevin Robbins. That's my man Cam. Yeah. Yeah. Cam, my
He's
guy.
looking at it like, what?
Yeah, I know Cam. What's up, Cam? How you doing, baby?
I love it. I love it. I
That's
love
my
it.
guy.
I love it. I love it.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, what do you think? You want to keep hanging or you gotta bounce?
I'm gonna get up out of here,
Okay.
man. It's always a pleasure.
Hey,
Good seeing you,
safe
man.
travels. Enjoy
I
the game,
appreciate it,
all right?
man. For sure, man. Be easy.
Mr. Turp,
Go
Mr.
Ravens,
Turp
baby.
himself. I was
Hey.
with your whole crew last week at Jimmy Patsos' wife's funeral.
I was there too.
Oh, you were?
I was in the back. I was in there, and I
Oh, I
kind
must
of
not have
came
seen
in.
you.
Yeah, probably, I didn't
Okay.
see you. But of course, I didn't say hello. But
did you go to the
I was
after
there
thing
as
or no?
well. I didn't go. I had to get back to work.
Because Juan and Gary and all the crew was there.
Yeah,
So I was looking.
yeah.
I thought you might have been
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was there.
Terrible tragedy.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Jimmy's my guy. I love you, Jimbo.
Yeah, me too.
All
All right,
right.
Roddy.
Have a
Enjoy
good
it,
one,
man.
man.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Christmas, you too.
Let's get Jewel in here to check in on him, make sure all's good. We got a good crew on hand, over 600 of you joining me. And look at, man, this place is starting to funnel out and get to the game. Look at this. Let's go, Mal. Oh, what up, Richard? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Yeah, come on, Molly. Here, you right after Molly. No. We got to get you down. This guy's on here all the freaking time. Now, the live chat's not going to be happy because of your colors, but what are you going to do? Because they got after Sam pretty good a couple minutes ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But Sam is the younger brother of Molly, and Molly married Riley, and I actually married them both, which was in September, the day of the home opener.
Best
So
officiant ever.
your father and I were joking. Like, he's like, how's your season been? I was like, well, my season literally began the morning that I saw you leaving Britland, and then it hasn't stopped since. So it's just funny to see you guys here. But all right, so a house divided here. Riley is a Ravens fan. He should really be over here, by the way.
No, he went back to grab our blankets because the game's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold.
You got some PA roots, so that's the reason why you guys you've lived in Baltimore for a while now. What are Riley and the family saying here? Because the rest of the family's Pittsburgh across the board, correct?
Yeah. Everyone's Pittsburgh fans except Riley, so it's been a little bit of a tough time for him, but he's holding his ground. I mean, I feel like the Ravens are the Ravens, right? So they are a strong team all around, and it should be interesting to see how today goes. I mean, I'm 3-0 going to. I almost feel like I should knock on some wood, but we're 3-0 going into the game. Riley and I going together. Steelers win.
Okay, in favor of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh 3-0, and so I'm a little nervous today because I'm bringing some extra people here with me
today.
today.
The pendulum shift because there's a lot that's not working in the Steelers' favor in terms of personnel, injuries. We've talked about that throughout the show.
Well, you don't have to call me out like that.
So we'll see that something's got to give. I don't know. The live chat thinks that something's got to give.
Yeah.
But that'll be fun. You guys warm enough?
Yeah, it should be a good game.
When the blankets get there, you'll be warm.
When the blankets get there, the hand warmers, everything else.
Yeah.
It should be a good game.
All right. Well,
it's never a bad game. That's for sure.
You guys enjoy yourselves. Tell any other member of the family that they can come on if they'd like. But go enjoy it. And we'll be finished up here soon, so I'll be able to say goodbye and whatnot.
We'll hang out.
Molly Earhart. I was going to say Molly Bishop, but that's not true anymore. Popping in. Now, let's get back to the guest lines here. Appreciate you guys for being here. Jewel, Molly took precedent. Sorry.
Okay. Tell him come pick me up. Hey, Bobby, what's going on?
What the hell's going on over there now?
I was waiting for my ride. Somebody going down there with me. That's why I want to.
You coming down?
Yeah, I'm coming down there. I'm I'm just doing a lot of other stuff. I was like doing last minute shopping, but yeah, I'm on my way down there. So.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Here comes Asmodeus, Jewel. We got Richard in the
Oh,
house.
all right. Well, tell him to come here and pick me up.
So what? Well, no. Freddie gave me Ed Reed's. Ed, so I have 3. Sorry, Jewel. I got 3.
Oh, you good? You good?
I got 3 signature Ed Reed's, courtesy of my buddy Freddie. And Richard's like, "Why don't you have it? Because it's so windy that it would be impossible to actually keep it lit."
Not true. I'm talking what I know.
Cold.
Yeah, but you're not hosting a show.
True. That is true.
Richard's in the house, guys. Asmodeus is here. Jewel, finish that thought for us.
Real quick, I was just going to say this game's going to be a good one for us. I think we win it 24-16.
Okay.
Could be a little bit more scoring, probably 30-16. Who knows? But that's my score prediction. Should be a good one for us.
You heard it there first, Jewel. We'll catch up with you post game, brother.
All right.
Later, man. What's going on, dude?
My bad. I didn't take the side of my mouth.
This place, this place really cleared up. Who is that?
Yeah, they cleared up really quickly.
Who the hell is that? You see that over there?
You see another cutie?
This feels really reminiscent.
Didn't we play Wingman again?
I mean, it didn't work out the first time. No, it did. It's just obviously geographical inconvenience to the roof. But there is a girl in the beanie that I need to stay not distracted. Okay. So, your thoughts? What do you got? A little IPA.
Yep.
What do you think of going in?
So I mean, this is the one game. What I was, if there's any game I can't miss for the rest of the year, it's gonna be this one. I think for me, I've been feeling this the entire week. I think this is gonna be the true litmus test prior to the playoffs about whether or not this team's a Super Bowl team. Whereby yes, the defense on the Pittsburgh is a little bit weaker, but at the end of the day, they're still a top unit in the league. So it's gonna be a test on the offense to see if they're actually able to generate that same 20 plus 30 plus points that they did before.
We're about to get bird shit on us, by the way. There's literally a flyover happening right now. There's so many seagulls above us right now. We are no doubt gonna get shit on.
Well, let's hope not. Really hope not. That would suck.
Chat, you can actually see her. Okay, so over Richard's right shoulder, there's a girl in the beanie. Wait, they all have beanies on.
That's not a good indicator, man. Everyone has beanie on.
No, I know, but wait a second. I gotta stay time on task right now because this really went south the other time. So we gotta make sure we stay. And shockingly, I did not take one gel. Oh, by the way, I got a couple shots for you. I'd like you to have one.
Okay, I'll take one.
Yeah, go ahead. Nothing like mixing beer and shots. Right? It's the least that I can do with all the cigars that you give me every single time. I think it's like a what do they call those things again? Not green teas, but like what do they call those?
Matcha?
I'm just forgetting what they are.
There's stuff in the top of that. What do you know what that is?
They only give them out in Fed Hill. What is that? Take the other one. Oh no, there's something in there.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know if that's intentional or not. That might be. Actually, it might
it's
be.
Definitely intentional. Yeah.
No, it is. It's in the big one too. These are Jello shots?
I do have Jello shots. Yeah. Do you want them?
I mean, hell, I'll take that too.
Where'd they go? Everybody wants me to. Here they are. They're behind the screen. This is that. Whenever Richard sits down for whatever reason, things go off the rails and my mind starts like going. She just left. Okay, that was meant to be. I can't distract myself anymore. Plus,
I mean,
you never know.
can,
Madison might. Who knows? Early year 2025. Everybody wants a Madison update. I give one like every week. It's geographical inconvenience. That's all. We still Snapchat.
I mean, it's a challenge. I mean, you got stuff going on, and then she's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you ever find yourself to go to chance to go to Nashville, I recommend it, and then you just hit it up at that point.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be now. It could be a couple months from now. Then you can go and see the night thing, see if there's any sort of spark or not. If not, it is what it is. But at least you get through good.
You want one? Yeah, it'll be one of those things that if it materializes, great.
Yeah.
If not, then I don't think it's any skin off anybody's back.
No, I mean there shouldn't be any pressure on anything.
Plus, I've been dating like a fiend.
Yeah,
and I think she knows that. She probably listens to the show.
She
I mean,
probably
look,
does.
I'm 30. It's time to start date. It's it's time to start hammering out dates.
Yeah, I hear
And
that.
Typically, I do that in the off season. I'm not saying I've been on a lot in season, but it's time. I want a big family. Like, let's get it.
Yeah, I hear that.
Tila wants you to go get her. That would be hilarious. It really is funny how like you sit down and then my eyes start to wander, and it's just like, oh, bang, just instant fireworks. But anyway, let's get back to what we're here for.
Yeah.
And that is what Lamar's trying to do, which he has not been able to consistently do, to the tune of a 1-4 record against Pittsburgh. Listen to what Cam Hayward had to say.
Lamar is the most electric guy in the league right now. The shiftiness, the play extension, he's second to none in that regard. He's got an arm that's a cannon, and each week you just see a highlight by him. So I don't think anybody really compares to him right now.
So that's a pretty ringing endorsement there for Lamar's MVP candidacy. And just so everybody knows, Lamar is 109 rushing yards away from breaking Michael Vick's all-time record among quarterback rushing yards. And here's what Russell Wilson had to say about that this week.
Breaking the rushing yards by a quarterback that Michael Vick, the record that Michael Vick has.
Yeah.
What's impressed you maybe about the way that Lamar runs the ball as a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I think guys like Michael Vick, Lamar, there's been some special guys running the football. He's a unique individual. I think that anytime he has the football in his hands, he's special. It's been cool to watch. Just over the years, people doubt him. And his ability to make plays. I think anytime you're rushing for over 5,000, 6,000, how many yards he's got, it's pretty remarkable in itself, no matter what position you play. And then also too, he's been able to do it, throwing the football as well. So he's a tremendous football player.
Along those lines, if when he breaks Michael Vick's record, would that solidify him in your mind as the best ever dual threat quarterback?
That's a pretty good question. I haven't really thought about it. I think he's definitely one of them for sure. You think about the greats like Michael Vick. He was one that just really lit up the whole stadium. The guy from Virginia. By the way, congrats to Michael Vick on the Norfolk State. My grandfather was president of Norfolk State for a long time. But I think that guys like Lamar for sure. Michael Vick. Those guys are unique individuals in what he can do. So I couldn't disagree with it. That's for sure.
I couldn't disagree with it, that's for sure. Russell Wilson talking about Lamar as the greatest dual-threat quarterback of all time, which really I don't think is any kind of – there's really no argument or debate about that at this point. But let's get out of here on this. Give me your prediction. Did you already give me a prediction?
No.
Give me your prediction and one thing you're watching going into Ravens-Steelers rivalry round 2.
I'm going to say 35-14. Wow. And so the reason why I'm saying that is because I really feel like at this point, it's a make it or break for the Ravens. Do they really believe in themselves? Do they really believe that they're going to be a Super Bowl team? Do they really believe that they're going to have something to prove in the playoffs to shut all the opponents up? I think they realize that. I think I feel that energy. It kind of reminds me of a 2012 kind of year where the team went through a lot of turmoil during the season, regular season. We played every single playoff team that's projected to be in there. And we've been competitive in every single one of them, whether or not win, lose. Every single game has been competitive. And so I really think that today is going to be the start, the launch pad, so to speak. We're going to afford, not unfortunately, because I don't like the Steelers, but I hate the Chiefs even more. But we're going to use the Pittsburgh Steelers as a launch pad to go ahead and project more momentum into the playoffs. And we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm calling that right now. That's my hot take.
Richard's calling his shot. An interesting note here as we close. Both Justin Tucker and Chris Boswell are having trouble getting 50 to 55-yard field goals to the crossbar in warmups. It is blustery out here. It is 19-degree wind chill. And again, as I just told you, I'm freezing my ass off solely based on as the shots start to roll off here because of how windy it is.
Chuck all that. You feel better.
I wish. There's literally things blowing all over it. That is going to be a big factor in today, particularly when it comes to John Harbaugh's decision-making of putting Justin Tucker out there in the middle of a slump as he already is. So lots of big decisions loom. We appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks to Be More Around Town for having me out. Richard, great seeing you as always. What's going on, man? Good to see you. God damn, how are your hands feeling right now? Oh, you got okay, cool. You got that QB pocket right there, right? Yeah, hell yeah. Love it, man. Enjoy it. Appreciate it. Wow, that was definitely not a cigarette. So I'm getting major whiffs right there. God damn. We got a closing super chat on the way out. Max Power writes, "Good morning, Raven Nation from Australia. Let's do this." What's going on, Max? Appreciate you, man. I didn't realize there was an Aussie Ravens Nation flock. That's awesome.
Oh, it's all over the globe. I love it.
That's awesome. It's going to grow if they go on that run that you're predicting them to. So, guys, post game, of course, Sarah and I will be on about 8 o'clock or so, 8:30 over on the Vault. As always, I appreciate you guys for all the support. I'm going to go race across town. You can follow me on Twitter, as always, in-game for my in-game tweeting, at Bobby Baltimore. You can find me across social media at that. And by the way, let me just say this, too, quickly. If you go to my Instagram account, at Bobby Baltimore, we're doing a free giveaway, a ticket giveaway for Ravens Browns, which is the regular season finale. All you have to do, literally, is follow 2 accounts, including me, and leave a comment with a caption tagging somebody. And that's it. And you enter yourself in for 2 free tickets to Ravens Browns, which is the weekend of January 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So go enter into that. That's courtesy of Preston Automotive Group, one of my longest standing sponsors. Richard, great seeing you, bro. Enjoy it in there. Safe travels on the way back tonight. And guys, enjoy the game. 24-20 for me. You said what?
I said 35-14.
35-14. The chat is mixing it up as well. I see a lot of different predictions in there, all of which are in favor of the Ravens. Tila thinks it's 27-17. See what the rest of you guys think. And James, New Zealand flock is on deck as well. So, wow, everybody out.
I got one more hot take.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be a single field goal made today.
No field goals made. And honestly, I don't know how hot that is because it's ridiculous out here.
And I think, the crazy part is, I think that actually favors us.
Maybe. It's going to favor the offense that can move the chains more, and that is certainly Baltimore.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, we know, struggles mightily without
There's no George Pickens, and it's going to be all Najee Harris.
Yep.
And number 1 running defense.
Rico says 44-10. Big Cuz says 35-24. A lot of Ravens wins. I got to get to the heat, man. Let's get those heat warmers going. Appreciate you guys having an awesome day. It feels like it's not a Sunday. It's a Saturday. So enjoy it. I'll be back with you tonight. James, thanks for the super chat. Richard, thank you for dropping by.
Yep.
Thanks to Be More Around Town and everybody else for dropping in. And we'll catch up with you tonight. Later, guys.
Y'all have a good one.